Hey, it's Dino from Digitspin Crypto. And with a little investigation and some help from the subscribers, I think we have more information to bring to you regarding the block time for Electroneum. So let's get to it. So I want to preface this video with this information. Everything that you're about to hear is basically about two pieces of software fighting it out. Two AIs, one being the blockchain, one being a mining algorithm to make profitability against that blockchain. And these are two AIs battling it out. And as usual, the humans are left picking up the pieces. So this is going to be the future of humanity. When we let these algorithms go loose, they will do what's required at all costs to accomplish their mission, no matter what. And humanity is going to be stuck picking up the pieces. So let's get on with the video. Okay, in our last video, we were talking about this stitching situation in the difficulty, and I'm in this middle line here. I'm looking at the network stats for Electroneum, and you can see how it goes up and down and is stitching back and forth. And we were discussing how not only does this cause problems for the dedicated miners, because as it stitches, it brings the difficulty up, and the amount of hash power is basically ahead of the difficulty, so it can scoop up tons of coins at a faster rate, and when it reaches peak, drop off, and the miners that are left are now stuck with a higher difficulty. Therefore, the timing, the block times were longer, and they were stuck picking up the pieces to get it to stabilize and come back down. And then as soon as it leveled off, this would happen again. And you can see here on the difficulty how it stitches up and down. This middle line here, that causes this problem. And one of the effects of it is that as it's stitching up and down, it's creating an average or a mean time that was going up and up. So basically, the average block time was being increased, and that obviously will affect throughput of transactions. And so, doing a little research and getting some information from a couple of folks on the YouTube page, we found some interesting information. So now, one of the subscribers, Deadly M, gave me a link and was able to locate this. And this is basically on NiceHash. Now, NiceHash is a quote pool that everybody can send their miners to, and then it redirects it to an actual mining pool. And basically, it's a renting hash power. So people pay in Bitcoin for your GPU time, and then it's directed to a particular pool where then you reap the rewards. Now, he was showing me this link to the CryptoNight v7, which is Proof of Work 7. And if we take a look, we'll see the same stitching pattern. That's exactly what's transpiring on Electroneum. So even this giant bump, everything is almost a one-to-one calculation here. So by taking a look at this, it tends to lead me to a couple of conclusions. One, NiceHash, which I run NiceHash here at Digispin Crypto on 10 or 15 machines off to the side. And one of its functionalities is if it finds a coin that will produce more value for that GPU, it'll auto switch that GPU. So option one here is that the NiceHash algorithm is seeing that the difficulty is low and is calculating, hey, at that difficulty, these GPUs can make X amount. And it sends out a signal, and as the NiceHash miners are working, it checks every so many random minutes. Is a mathematical formula. It's a minimum of 3 minutes plus a random number of 90 seconds. And this way all the GPUs don't change at once. So there can be a window of a couple of minutes. But they will auto switch. So option one is that NiceHash is doing the calculation, sending out the signal, and then the machines are swapping over and inundating the ETN network, sucking the coins out of it, and when it gets to a particular height in difficulty, the mathematics tell it, hey, this is not as profitable. Let's go back to mining Ethereum or some other coin, and then they all drop off, and that basically leaves whatever GPUs were dedicated to pick up the pieces and to deal with that high difficulty and work its way back down. And once it's back down, it takes a look at it and then it pumps it back up again. So that's option one. The other option is just that there is somebody obviously placing hashing power. Now, I did the looks at this, and on the NiceHash site, and it looks like each one of these little stitches would probably cost somewhere around 0.2 to a quarter of a Bitcoin each pump. So that would be a lot of money somebody would have to throw around to do this. And being that it's a 12-hour round trip, they would not be sleeping at some point. So it's possible. Could be a company or something, and they have people staffing the place 24 hours, and it works there. But so that is an option, and a possibility that this is what's going on. So when it hits this bottom, every 12 hours they just pump it up and drop it back down again. Now, clearly the process that's going on here is the maximization of value against Electroneum. But ultimately, the effects of it are longer block times, and the GPUs that are left on the system are suffering because they're picking up the pieces of the higher hash rate, difficulty rate, and bringing it back down. So, for example, I'm running some GPUs. I would normally mine 100 ETN coins in approximately 3 hours. Since this is happening, I now mine 100 ETN coins in 12 hours. It takes me 4 times longer to mine those same coins. And this is where the rub is. If somebody is doing this for a profit, I have certain GPUs I can leave and just let them run. But there are folks that need to be able to pay their electric bill on these and have to produce a profit to pay for the equipment and what have you. They are not going to mine Electroneum. So this becomes a kind of a death cycle. And all these machines, basically what happens is, and this could be why the Electroneum goes down, is that somebody's grabbing these coins and then can offload them therefore driving the price down. So they're scooping up all of the rewards, and when they offload them, because they need to pay their bills, it's driving the price of Electroneum down beyond Bitcoin and all the other stuff which drives the entire market. But it'll additionally drive the price down, and the more people that leave the network because it's now not profitable for them to just leave their GPU on there, these swings now can be even more dramatic and pronounced. So I know that some of the pools will have a different port number. So if you're running a couple of GPUs, you go to one port and your difficulty for the stratum is at such and such. And if you're coming in through NiceHash, you have to connect via a different port, which brings their difficulty at a different level, so that it's not an overwhelming response, and it kind of levels things out a little bit better. I'm not sure if that's a solution here, but it needs to be looked at, and or it's going to be progressively more difficult for miners who want to keep the environment working to leave their GPUs on Electroneum. So this has nothing to do with the coin itself. It's the mathematics behind the algorithms. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Everything is physically functioning as advertised. The way the coin's supposed to be working. It's just the situation. Electroneum's an awesome coin, and I'm, while the prices are low and the getting's good, I'm grabbing as many as I can, even by buying them with my Bitcoin. This is a great project, and I hate to see these types of things happening to the infrastructure of the chain. And so the good news is it doesn't look like there's direct manipulation as far as trying to hurt the coin. It really just comes down to profit and systems trying to, software working against software to find the best and most profitable way to snag the coins, which is the function of how this is all supposed to work. But in this particular case, it's just not helpful. And I'm sure there's some solutions, and hopefully they'll be looked at of how this can be monitored or alleviated in some way going forward. So stay strong, hold on to your ETN, and I'll see you next time. Appreciate you hitting that like button and subscribe, and I'll bring you more information as I find it. Thanks for visiting Digispin Crypto. And one last thing, I want to thank each and every one of you subscribers who commented below. I appreciate the feedback, all of your input. Together we were able to get this and try to identify where this problem is coming from. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate each and every one of you.